say now, welcome to our channel. Today we're making a Salisbury steak dinner, and we're starting with 2 pounds of ground Angus, 2 packs of Liptons beefy onion, 1 pack of mushrooms, a half an onion, flour, 32 ounces of beef broth, onion and garlic powder and pepper. Right now he's adding half of the beefy onion, and then he's going to mix that up and add a little more, mix it up and add the onion, garlic, and pepper. He's going to add this garlic, onion powder, and pepper. He's not going to add salt. He's going to mix that in, and then he's going to add a little more of this in later. Time to make the patties. You can make these any size you want to. He decided on to make some big ones for us, so he won't cook that in. But yeah, any size you want. Now it's time to brown the hamburger meat on both sides, but you do not want to cook it all the way. You want to leave it a little pink in the middle because it will cook the rest of the meat in the gravy. Beefy onion and that seasoning that is smelling so good up in here, y'all. Ooh. Now you just saute your onions and your mushrooms in the oil left behind from the packet, and that will season that up. And we'll add more seasoning later. Listen when I tell y'all it's smelling so good up in here, up in here. Now it's time to add a light coating of flour. Now, if your first time doing this, you want to take it easy. You can add more later, but you just want to get to a pasty consistency and then let it brown a little. Also notice that he didn't add any more oil. He's just going to let the flour absorb, and you'll see it absorb, and he'll add a little more flour to it, to his consistency. Browned it to the color that he wants it, it's time to add the broth. You're going to stir really good, and you're going to make sure that the flour doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and that it mixes in good into the broth. Now he's adding more seasoning, our staples, the onion and garlic powder and pepper, and seasoning salt. that the gravy is ready for the meat, you're going to add the meat in and let it simmer inside the gravy for about 25 minutes or until the gravy gets thick enough to your consistency. Now while the Salisbury steak simmers, we'll start our garlic mashed potatoes and broth. Let's not forget the garlic, sir. Make sure that you are stirring and flipping your meat over at least twice. Now that we have the broccoli steaming, we have drained our potatoes, we've added butter, canned milk, salt and pepper. Then we're going to smash and whip the potatoes. Now that everything is done, it's time for us to plate our dinner. It's time to get down, y'all. It smells so good in here. Ain't it beautiful? It tastes as good as it looks. Oh yeah, and that little dish back there is garlic butter that we drizzled on top of the broccoli. It was so delicious. If you like what you see, please subscribe and help our channel grow. Thank you.